Thank you, Larry. And Larry's exactly right. We have one last opportunity before we finish up our 2010-2011 to provide real relief to the people of the state of Connecticut. Not only did we cut aid to towns and cities, but we waited so long to pass a budget that we did it after they had already adopted their own, even making the decisions of our local elected officials even harder. Local elected officials, by the way, who for over a year have already made the tough decisions to renegotiate contracts, to lay off municipal employees, to cut programs, the very things that the Democrat majority failed to do with the state budget. These are not new issues, but they are issues that need to be resolved with little or no cost to the people of the state of Connecticut. We can provide real relief. In the debate on the budget in the Senate Majority Leader got up and, quite frankly, spoke very clearly and eloquently about how the impact of cuts to municipal aid had a domino effect in rising property taxes on the people of the state of Connecticut. While he's right that cuts in municipal aid raise property taxes of the people we all represent, his statements bore no relation to the very budget he stood for, promoted, and voted for. A $50 million cut in the Pequot Fund will directly relate to either lost services or higher property taxes. In-school suspension, and the list right here, is only creating a further burden on the people of the state of Connecticut. And it's not about the policy. There are 169 towns and cities that, on their own, can choose to have an in-school suspension policy if they want. So towns and cities who want this policy can have the policy. It's about whether or not the state can come in as big brother and force towns and cities to do something that they don't want to do and not give them the money to do it. That's what's fundamentally wrong with the mandates that the majority party continues to force upon our towns and cities with one hand while talking about property tax relief in the other. The cut in the debt service on the school construction is another example of a bad decision that will have a domino effect, not just on the school projects on the list, but on every other school project down the line. If you have a moratorium on school construction grants for a year, those towns and cities that are looking for the money in the next year are going to have to wait a year themselves. In my town of Newtown that I represent, with the high school project underway, they are looking at borrowing $11 million and the debt service costs of 1 year on that $11 million of borrowing. That's over $100,000 that a small town has to bear because of this cut in the Democrat budget. And I can tell you that that $100,000 plus is going to have a significant impact on the budget and the people of the town of Newtown. We need to reverse these decisions. We need to provide relief to the citizens. It's not just our towns and cities, remember. It's every single property taxpayer out there who is going to bear the burden of these mandates. And I hope that the Democrats will see the light and join us in providing the relief that many of them have talked about, but few, if any of them, have actually voted to implement. Thank you.